Imagine waking up one morning, only to discover that your entire life has been ripped apart. Your job, gone. Your car, stolen. Your family, homeless. And just when you think things can't get any worse, you are thrown face to face with the one person who could change everything. This is the unsettling story of Edet Bassey, a man everyone thought was cursed. Until fate revealed something no one saw coming. Edet Bassey, 42, worked as an administrative officer at Atlantic Energy Multinationals in Port Harcourt. That Monday morning, he walked into the office, coffee in hand, only to find he couldn't access his work computer. Password denied. He asked colleagues if they had tampered with it. Everyone shrugged. They suggested he see the HR boss. Inside the HR office sat Miss Imabong Amaduk, a sharp-tongued woman who barely looked up. "Mr. Bassey," she said coldly, "your services are no longer needed. You've been terminated." No explanation. No letter. Just dismissal. He walked out of the building like a ghost. Meanwhile, his wife, Edet Bassey, heavily pregnant, sat at home, their rent due in 2 weeks, with no job of her own. Weeks later, his phone rang. A company executive wanted him to testify in favor of a reckless driver who had knocked someone dead. "Say you saw the victim cross carelessly. We'll pay you 5 million naira. Edet thought of his pregnant wife, his unpaid rent, his empty fridge. He said yes, but on the night before court, sleep abandoned him. He tossed, turned. By morning, his heart was heavy. He whispered, "Better poor and at peace, than rich and cursed." He backed out of the deal. That same day, he went to buy groceries. When he stepped out of the mall, his car was gone. Stolen. Days rolled into weeks. Rent expired. His landlord, Mr. Tamuno Briggs, threw them out. With nowhere else to go, Edet relocated his wife, who had now given birth, to an uncompleted building on the outskirts of town. 6 months later, Iyengia Sotonai Peters, site engineer, stormed the property. "Leave this place. The owner is ready to finish his building. If I return and still see you here, I'll throw your things into the street." Edet knelt down, pleading, "My wife just gave birth. Please, give us time." 3 weeks later, Sotonai returned, this time with the owner of the building. The owner, a wealthy businessman named Richard Akong, Etit Akong, stepped out of his SUV. He watched as the engineer shouted at Edet, who lay flat on the ground, begging not to be thrown out. Richard froze. His voice trembled. "Uncle. Uncle Edet. Is this you?" The crowd fell silent. Richard rushed forward, lifted Edet from the ground, and hugged him tightly. Both men wept. Everyone was confused. Richard explained, "This man is my elder half-brother. When my mother died in my teenage years, it was Uncle Edet who took me to the city, sent me to school, and even sponsored me abroad. We lost contact when he changed numbers. I thought I had lost him forever." That very day, Richard bought a new furnished house for Edet and his family. He moved them out of the uncompleted building and promised never to abandon him again. A month later, Richard flew Edet, his wife, and their newborn abroad. For the first time in years, peace returned. Fate has a strange way of bringing hidden stories to light. For Edet, rejection turned into restoration, not by wealth, not by luck, but by the unshakable bond of family. In the end, what the world called a failure was a man who once gave everything for his brother. And in his darkest hour, that seed of kindness returned to save him. Never despise the season of struggle. The seeds of kindness you plant today may be the very lifeline that rescues you tomorrow. People's values are not measured by money, but by the sacrifices they make for others.